From the PEP Radio Newsroom, we have breaking news. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announced that a state lawmaker and her husband were killed in a politically targeted shooting. A Minnesota lawmaker and her husband were shot and killed in their home early Saturday by someone posing as a police officer, and a second lawmaker and his wife were wounded in what Governor Tim Walz described as targeted political violence. Former House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her spouse were killed in their Brooklyn Park home. The other lawmaker and his wife were shot multiple times in Champlin, authorities said at a news conference. Authorities were actively searching for a suspect in the hours following the shootings. We must all, in Minnesota and across the country, stand against all forms of political violence, Walz said at a press conference on Saturday. Those responsible for this will be held accountable. The wounded lawmaker was identified as State Senator John Hoffman, a Democrat who was first elected in 2012. He previously served as vice chair of the Hennepin School Board, which manages the largest school district in Minnesota. Hoffman is married and has one daughter and represents a district north of Minneapolis. Hortman was the top House Democratic leader in the state legislature and a former House Speaker. She was elected in 2004. She and her husband had two children. Drew Evans, superintendent of the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, said that authorities were actively searching for a suspect. Autopsies will be done to determine the extent of injuries, but Hortman and her spouse died from gunshot wounds, Evans said. A shelter-in-place order was in effect early Saturday. Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson said the suspect was posing as a law enforcement officer. Suspect exploited the trust of our uniforms, what our uniforms are meant to represent. That betrayal is deeply disturbing to those of us who wear the badge with honor and responsibility, he said. Police Chief Mark Bruley said the suspect fled out of the back of Hortman's house after an exchange of gunfire with police. The suspect was dressed like a uniformed officer and operating a vehicle that looked exactly like an SUV squad car. It was equipped with lights, emergency lights, and looked exactly like a police vehicle, Bruley said. President Donald Trump said in a White House statement that the FBI would join in the investigation. Our Attorney General Pam Bondi and the FBI are investigating the situation, and they will be prosecuting anyone involved to the fullest extent of the law. Such horrific violence will not be tolerated in the United States of America. God bless the great people of Minnesota, a truly great place. That was quoting Donald Trump. Minnesota House Speaker Lisa DeMuth, a Republican from Cold Spring, called the attack evil, and she said she was heartbroken beyond words by the killings of Hortman and her husband, Mark. With the law enforcement response ongoing and details still emerging, I will simply ask all Minnesotans to please lift up in prayer the victims of this horrific attack, as well as the law enforcement personnel still working to apprehend the perpetrator, DeMuth said in a statement. That's what we know so far. As more breaking news happens throughout the day, we will be sharing that information here on the PEP Radio YouTube channel and our other social media accounts. I'm David Moore reporting live from the PEP Radio Newsroom.